If she suddenly starts ignoring your advice, something has shifted. And deep down, you already feel the quiet distance. But here's the brutal truth most men miss completely. It was never about how much money you make. It was always about how you made her feel safe. Pay attention to this next part. It changes everything. Right now, you are losing her respect without even trying. Because understanding this will quietly save your relationship. You think respect is given automatically the moment you commit. But respect in women is actually earned through emotional safety. When she shares her worries, you immediately try to fix them. That sounds helpful, but it actually kills real connection. She doesn't want a mechanic for her emotions. She wants a witness who truly listens to her pain. Here's the truth you need to hear right now. Think about the last time you interrupted her story. You thought you were just adding a quick, helpful tip. But to her, it felt like you didn't trust her to handle it. That tiny moment stacks up quietly, every single day. And slowly, her respect just walks out the door. Don't miss this shift in how you communicate daily. You assume love and respect are exactly the same thing. They are not, and confusing them is incredibly dangerous. Love makes her stay close, but respect makes her listen. Without respect, her love quietly turns into heavy resentment. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack all day long in the heat. You wouldn't want someone to just drop more weight on it. You would want someone to ask how they can carry it too. This is where it gets really interesting. Women work the exact same way emotionally. When you validate her feelings first, you instantly earn trust. But when you argue with her reality, you completely lose it. Watch closely what happens next time she speaks up. Don't jump to solutions right away like you normally do. Just sit with her in the quiet discomfort for a moment. Say something simple like, "That sounds really hard." Watch how her whole tense energy softens instantly. That is the exact moment respect quietly returns to you. But there is a deeper layer you really must understand. Consistency matters far more than any grand gesture. Buying expensive gifts once a year means almost nothing if you roll your eyes at her dreams every single Tuesday. Respect is actually built in the boring, everyday moments. Pay attention to this quiet shift in your own behavior. It's how you look at her when you are both completely tired. It's the exact tone you use when she makes a mistake. One harsh tone can easily erase a whole week of nice words. Think about your own job for just a quick second. A boss who praises you publicly in front of everyone, but then criticizes you privately to your coworkers. Would you ever respect that boss long term? Probably not. Here's where most men get trapped without realizing it. Women feel that exact same stinging contradiction daily, and they slowly pull away just to protect their own peace. Many guys wrongly confuse total silence with respect. They think if they just don't argue, they are being good. But emotional avoidance is actually disrespect in disguise. Don't look away now. This is the hardest part to hear. It silently tells her, "Your feelings are too heavy for me." And that hidden message cuts far deeper than any loud insult. Picture a clear glass jar slowly filling with cold water. Every time you shut down a conversation with a sigh, you add another heavy drop until it finally spills over. Then she suddenly explodes over something incredibly tiny, and you honestly wonder why she is suddenly so angry. But it was never about that one tiny dropped spoon. It was the 100 quiet drops you completely ignored before. This is exactly where you have to change your approach. You need to learn how to read the quiet signals now. Notice when she suddenly stops asking for your opinion. Notice when she quietly starts making decisions entirely alone. That is not healthy independence. That is self-protection. She is quietly learning to survive without your support. Let's talk about something very uncomfortable for a moment. Once she gets used to doing everything completely alone, she will never look to you for strength the same way again. You might be unintentionally competing with her every day. When she shares a small win, you share a bigger one back. Pay close attention to how that actually makes her feel. It feels like bonding to you, but it really isn't. It tells her quietly, I still need to be the main character. And slowly, her bright light starts to dim around you. Imagine standing center stage in a warm, bright spotlight. Then someone steps right up and completely blocks your view. Here's the truth about what she really needs from you. You wouldn't feel supported. You would just feel erased. Real respect means celebrating her shine without stealing it. Being her quiet biggest fan without ever asking for credit. That kind of grounded confidence is incredibly magnetic. Now listen carefully, because this shifts the entire dynamic. Strong boundaries are the ultimate hidden form of respect. Not just hers to set, but yours to keep as well. When you say yes to absolutely everything, you say nothing. You become completely convenient, but never truly respected. This is where it gets really interesting for your growth. Women deeply respect a man who actually knows his limits. It shows you have a strong spine and real self-worth. Think about a heavy front door left wide open forever. People will just walk right through it without ever knocking. But a door that opens with clear, calm intention gets treated like it actually holds something valuable inside. Setting one calm boundary changes your relationship instantly. Don't skip this next realization. It is absolutely vital. It forces her to see you as a real person, not a tool. And that single shift brings back genuine, quiet admiration. Let's move to the final and honestly hardest truth here. You simply cannot demand respect from another human being. You have to quietly model it in your daily actions first. How do you actually speak about other women in private? How do you treat strangers who serve you coffee daily? Here's what you must understand about your own character. Your true character is on display 24 hours a day. She is always quietly watching, even when you don't notice. Imagine leaving a messy trail of crumbs everywhere you walk. Eventually, people will just step over them without caring. Pay attention to the quiet trail you leave behind you. But if you leave a trail of quiet, daily dignity, people will naturally want to follow your steady lead. Respect is really just a mirror of your own standards. When you quietly raise your standards, hers rise too. Here is exactly what you need to do, starting right today. Listen carefully, without planning your reply inside your head. Ask her one real question about her feelings. And just wait. Validate her experience fully before ever sharing your own. This is where your entire relationship starts to transform. Celebrate her small wins completely without making it about you. Keep your small promises, even the ones no one tracks. And learn to just sit quietly with uncomfortable emotions. These shifts feel incredibly tiny at first, I promise you, but they compound into massive, unshakable emotional trust. And deep trust is the only real foundation for lasting respect. Think of your relationship exactly like a fragile garden. You can't just pull one weed and walk away forever. You have to quietly water it every single morning. Don't underestimate this quiet truth. It saves marriages. Respect slowly dies in the dry soil of daily neglect, but it thrives wildly in the warm light of daily attention. The moment you truly realize this, everything shifts. You stop desperately trying to control the relationship, and you start leading through quiet, grounded, emotional strength. This is exactly where you become the man she needs. She doesn't want a perfect, flawless man in a storybook. She just wants a man who genuinely tries to understand her. A man who stays fully present when things get really messy. Picture a heavy steel anchor dropped into calm, deep water. It doesn't make loud noise, but it holds everything steady. Here is your quiet moment to step into that exact role. That is the steady energy women are secretly starving for. Not loud dominance, but safe, grounded, emotional presence. If this quietly resonated with you, sit with it tonight. Watch your daily interactions from a calm, new perspective. Notice where you can just listen a little bit longer. Notice where you can let her quietly lead for a moment. You will be amazed at how fast the mood starts to shift. Relationships never really break in big, dramatic, loud moments. They slowly fade in the quiet, empty spaces between words. So please choose your words and your silence carefully. If this helped you finally see things clearly, leave a quiet like on this video so it reaches others. Subscribe if you want to keep growing with us. Stay sharp.